This is the exercise in futility, if you like. This is my first demonstration of how the room on the roof actually works. Now, first time ever, I've just tried to put this into the physical universe out of my head. And I'm using this little model here to have a look at it. Now the first thing I did was measure up my friend's Hi-Ace van, which is in the front yard. This is obviously an imitation V-dub, which VD or whatever you want to call it. But basically it's the same length and the same size. For a normal little SUV, little four-wheel drive crappy thing from Japan or Korea, you'll only be able to get an 8-foot roof on the top here, but 12 foot this way. This one is, now this is not to scale yet. I plan to do a scale model one, but this is the idea of how it works. The room on the roof works like this. You've got, first of all, let me tell you that the roof itself, I believe, should be made out of this type of polycarbonate, preferably white, which has got, it's 2-ply, like corrugated. And this gives you well, polycarbonate, as you probably know, is the devil when it comes to heat transfer. But this stuff is really good because there's air in between, and it keeps the inside of it cool. Now, I would prefer it white than this colour. This is actually clear, and I've got this in my outdoor sleep out near the swimming pool. So this is the first bit, and each one of these segments goes like this. And as they fold up, you see, it'll pull the roof closed until it comes all the way, all the way closed, like this. Obviously, this is just a piece of cardboard crap, but that's basically the way it works. And obviously, this is way thicker than it will be here. Then that'll sit on the roof. When it comes up over that and down like that. This is up like that, and this is a bigger scale model. Here we go, comes up. As this comes up, so does this. Blah 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 blah. Comes to here. But what happens when it goes up is this thing here. Let me show you this mechanism. As this opens up, I plan to have this opening up and the ends come up like this. To support it, I want to put another couple of rails through here to hold up the room on the roof like so. Now I did my little mathematical calculation, if you call it maths, little Pythagoras theorem, and what it says is that if you have a radius of 6 foot here, $12 foot overall, so that's 6 foot that way when it's closed up, 12 foot overall. Now if you take Pythagoras, 2 pi r gives you the circumference of a circle, doesn't it? And then you divide that by 2 because it's only half a circle. That comes to 18.4. 18.4 of these, they should immediately work right across here from side to side. Now the other thing is, there's a few things I haven't done yet to get this entire concept out of the way, but I think this gives you a good basis to start with. And it comes out like, I don't know if you've ever seen a Nissan hut, which is, or if you go to a place where they have old time greenhouses for growing plants in, they have these things and they're just like semicircular round houses. This is the original drawing I did, which is simply a circle divided in half, and this is half, and then this down the bottom here is the ridge at the bottom where these segments fall away in. Now here's the thing, if you take 19 times 3 millimeters, this polycarbonate stuff's only 3 millimeters thick. So depending on how much space is taken up by the hinging mechanism, which shouldn't be a lot at all, 20 times 3 is 6. How much is 6? 2 inches. So when this is folded down, it should fit into 3 inches. So like I said, if we can make this, as it's folded up, 6 inches deep on top, instead of a huge thing like this thing is, it's only 6 inches high on the top of a roof. Because that's the polycarbonate's only taking up that, so we've got this other half of that, and we've still got that. We've got a few mechanisms to work out there in the middle, and I'll show you later on the next video exactly what happens when you open and fold this up. You have to have a working mechanism which will lift this one up in the middle. Now there is such a thing. But that's it for this video. I hope that gives you a little bit better idea of what the room on the roof is really like. I'll make a scale model of this as accurately as I can, instead of doing folding paper like this, which it gives it too much of a room, like a wriggly one like this. But this should be flat. It should be flat all the way across. It should be like that, like this one here. When we segment it properly, it comes out like a curve, like that. Now this one's not exactly the scale, so I have to transfer this and cut each one of these to make a hinge on each corner, and I'll see if I can do lifting this up, and so consequently that's what it'll look like. That's the end elevation. So basically there's the end elevation. Side elevation, oops, there, plane. But this is, okay, so that's basically the mechanism. Now, if we go to the other side of the room, I'll show you how good this can be. Now, over there, on the other side of the room, I have a red L-shaped couch. I envisage that will fit easily into this room on the roof, and I want to put something like that in. It folds out into a double bed and a single bed inside the top of the room on the roof. To give you an idea, that's 9 foot wide. The room on the roof will be 12 foot wide, which will give it 3 foot, no, not 1'6" on each side. When it folds down, that'll fold down in a little container underneath the mechanism that gives it the circular roof. And then at the other end, I want to put an LCD screen to make it sort of a luxury bedroom on a roof. And that's it. That's the way it should end up at the end. But there you go. That's the basic concept. I'll see if I can get you some more and do it to scale, and we'll see what happens from there. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. This is basically part 2 of this. This here is the room on the roof on the scale model, and it's open. As you can see, the concept's quite good. What I want to do is put a couple of, give you an idea. We fold. You remember how I said we fold out the side, like the side props, like on a card table. So you have one on each corner. They fold out that way. Blah, blah, blah. Support this like that. On the other end here, we support this like this here. I want to put a couple in the middle as well. Just put it in the middle so that it gives this whole thing more stability across the middle like that. And furthermore, once you put these up, you can prop them up above, lift the room on the roof off the ground, drive your Volkswagen away, and then you can go shopping. Unlike a Winnebago or something where you're stuck, you've got to take the whole thing to town, got to fold down your home. You can leave this on the campsite, wherever you are, go to wherever you like. When you're ready to move to the next town, you fold it up and away you go. Now let's see if I can get this folded up. This is a bit dodgy, remember? This is very much proof of concept. I haven't done this very well, but here we go. This thing goes around like this, this goes down like this, this folds down like this, and it pulls. I see this as being envisaged. As I say, I envisage everything. Look at things in my mind's eye before I start, and it folds down like that. And it should be in real life as fast as that or faster to fold this thing down to drive away. Then you just drive your truck away. You drive your V-dub away. You get your VD and you drive to the next town, and then you open it up again. Away you go. Now that's pretty well the whole concept in full. I see this as being, this mechanism to pull this down, to flatten it out, is being with a cable system and rollers. Like you have one of those roller things down here, rolls it round and round and round, perhaps under there, to pull down the roof, and then it goes up. Of course, it's on a windlass, so it goes around and round to here. So as you roll this way, it's pulling it back up this way. This one comes up like this in the middle, blah, 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 folds out, away you go, Bob's your uncle. It's a bit of messing about to get it done now to get this other one around, but once we have that, we pull that out. This one goes around like that. And you're up again. Of course, you have another one at the end. Now, in the middle, I just want bands across the middle to support it in 3 places, 3 or 4 places. So this is 12 foot long, 3, 6, 9, 12, 3 foot. Should be 4. So, and they're just, instead of the full circle like this, they're just a band. Comes up. It just comes up like that, like a band, and comes up in the middle to support in the middle, and so forth. Now remember that this is all wonky and like corrugated and that because it's folded paper, right? But once you put the thing properly in here, it's not falling down properly. Once you put this in properly, it'll be Bob's your uncle. Because see here, once you segment it and you put it like this, then you have your 19 segments. This semicircle is, like I said, 19 through the middle. Now I don't know, but I had a look in my mind's eye, you know, when you do a calculation in your head. I can do calculations, quite difficult calculations in my head, and I could be wrong. But it seems to me that if you know anything about measurements, because if you have a 6 foot radius circle as the basis of the semicircle, that's the basis of the semicircle here, like this semicircle. If that semicircle has got a radius of 6 foot, a diameter of 12 foot, that's 12 foot. As you may or may not know, a foot is not exactly 60 centimetres. 30 centimetres, it's not exactly 30 centimetres. If you have a look here on a ruler, you'll notice that 30 centimetres is just a little bit shorter than a foot. And so I think, because of that, I think it's a pi foot. A pi, p as in pi r squared. And I think that would make this exactly 19, if that's 12 foot wide, this has made it exactly 19 at 30 centimetres. 19 30 centimetre segments will be exactly 12 foot. I'm guessing, I could be wrong, but being the guys who invent these new systems, I wouldn't mind betting that they did that. They did that, made it a pi, 30 centimetres is a pi foot. If you know what I mean. That sounds really weird, and it's the sort of weird shit that I do in my head sometimes. But yeah, that's what I think. So 19 segments, 30 centimetres is what the circle should be, and then whatever width this is basically right. Now at 12 foot, it gives you a little bit overhang both sides on a roof. 6 foot, most of these little trucks, these little things, four-wheel drives and stuff, aren't quite 6 foot wide. But even if it is, you can put your little fold-down things here, each side, and you should be able to get away with driving away from the middle. When you come back, probably you have to take a middle one to put it in properly, because you're going to hit the post if you're not careful. But once you get in there, you just put it back on your roof. Bob's your uncle, away you go. Fold it up, fold it back. That's the way it'll work. How's that? Pretty good, huh?